Hello guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we're going to make vanilla cake using a Jiko. So last time when I made a lemon cake, most of you guys were asking me how can they make a cake when they don't have an oven. So today we have here our ingredients. I'm going to show you how to make cake using a Jiko. So we have blueband, sugar, self-rising flour, we have eggs, we're going to use cocoa, we have milk, we have vanilla essence. So we start by putting our blue band in our sufuria, and the measurements will be in the description box. I'll give you guys the measurements so that you can use them. You can scale it to your depending with the amount that you'll be using. So we'll start by putting blue band first, and then we'll put sugar. And remember, all of these ingredients I've already measured behind the camera, so I'll just put my measurements. So you first mix. I'm using a cooking stick because I don't have a mixer. So you give it a good mix, you keep mixing, you mix until your blue band and sugar, they become fluffy. As you can see, it becomes like it has bulged, like twice the size or the amount that you put. As you can see, it is fluffy. Now it's time we add our eggs. I used 3 eggs because I'm not making a big cake. So you put your eggs bit by bit, and every time you add a bit of eggs, you mix, then you add the next, then you keep adding and mixing. You give it a good mix. You mix well and make sure that everything is evenly distributed. Now let's add our vanilla essence to the mix. Also, you always use my eyes to eyeball the measurements of the vanilla essence. So you just put in enough and give it a good mix so that the cake can evenly taste like vanilla, every part of the cake to taste like vanilla. So let's now put in our flour. I'm using a self-rising flour, so that means I don't need to add in baking powder. I'll just first sift. I've already sifted the flour so that it can rise well, to remove in the lumps. I did that behind the camera. So you first sift, then you add. You keep adding like bit by bit. Every time you add, you mix well. Okay, now let's add our milk. So you also add milk bit by bit until the mixture gets the right consistency. You also give it a very good mix to make sure that every part it's well mixed. When adding milk, you can choose to add milk or water. You don't have to use milk. You just continue mixing until the flour mixture has a very runny consistency. Make sure that it's not so watery and it's also not so hard, just something in between. As you can see, it is not so watery and it is not so thick. So you take little of the flour, just the right amount, like about a quarter of the flour. You put aside, and then I have like 2 tablespoons of cocoa. I add in the quarter of the flour that I've put aside and give it a good mix. Like, you mix it well, you mix it thoroughly. You'll now have a brown mixture of the flour. Then you put it aside. Now let's prepare our sufuria for baking. You first now take blueband. You smear it well on the sides of the sufuria. You make sure that it's well smeared, like every part of the inside of the sufuria is well smeared, like so, as you can see in the video. Then you take your flour and you shake it in the sufuria well to make sure that it has touched every part that you've applied your blueband, like so. We're just making sure that when you put inside our cake, it won't burn or it won't stick to the sufuria, so that by the time it's ready, when you're removing it from the sufuria, it won't be sticky or it won't break. That's why we have to prepare sufuria like that. This should be the result. This is how it should look like. Now our sufuria is ready for us to put the cake inside. So we start by putting the white flour first. As we know, we're making a marble cake. That's why we've made the brown flour and the white flour, so that it can give that pattern and become a marble cake. Now we're putting the brown flour. This is made of just the white flour, and you've added in cocoa. Have you guys have seen before? You can choose to put the flour in an alternating fashion. You put the white flour, then a bit of the brown flour, and then the white flour again, then a bit of the brown flour, so that the cake at the end of the day will have a pattern of. Actually, that's what we're trying to come about with the marble cake. Now that our cake is ready to be cooked, to be baked, so let's now prepare our Jiko. I always use my gas to light the charcoal before I put them on the Jiko. So I first lit the charcoal, and voila, our Jiko is lit. Now let's put so you take 3/4 of the charcoal from the Jiko. That's what will be on top of the cake. So I took 3/4, like the heat remaining at the bottom should be very little to avoid the cake to avoid burning the cake. So you take most of the heat on the top, because the top is like a bit far from the cake, so it won't burn it. So you put your cake like so, then you take your the most of the heat you put on top. Like that. So you give it like 50 minutes, 30 to 50 minutes. So you keep checking and you make sure that you keep adjusting the heat so that it's spread well, to avoid burning at the center. So you spread the charcoal well on top, and also at the bottom make sure the heat is well distributed. And you keep also checking. Voila! Our cake is ready. So you can use a toothpick, or if you have a skewer, you can dip inside, and when it comes out, when it's dry, that means the cake is well cooked on the inside. So you keep checking. For now, my cake is ready. Actually, I didn't let it to turn brown, so brown, because it had a chance of burning, and the inside was already ready. Now it's time to devour the cake. Now you see, when you put the flour around the bottom of the sphere, it makes sure that when the time comes for us to remove the cake, you can easily remove from the sphere. So let's do it and see how our cake turned out. It looks so nice. Let's see if it's cooked on the inside.
A bit hot, but
The cake is well cooked. As you can see, it has the patterns. It's the marble cake, the exact marble cake as the one you see it's also spongy on the inside, as you can see, and it's well cooked. Every part it has dried really well. Thank you guys for watching.